Culley had a thumb. He might have fractured his thumb. I'm not really sure what the situation is with that. But other than that, there was really no injuries to keep anybody from finishing the game.
David, do you expect Tyrod to start against the Rams?
Well, John, I'll just have to wait till Wednesday to see. He is going to start to practice, and we'll see how things are at that point. I feel like he is a lot further along now, and he's getting closer, but won't be able to answer that until on Wednesday. When he's able to practice? Well, just to make sure that when he's running around back there that there's nothing hampering him from being the kind of player that he is, using his legs. And if there's nothing there, then we'd feel good about going and playing with him. But the only way we're going to find that out is by practicing him.
On the game itself, just the offensive output, the lack of the ball, how frustrating is this?
Well, it's very frustrating. I mean, we didn't block very well up front. I'm going to go back again. The big thing, too, was penalties. We had penalties at unopportune times that killed our drives, put us in those long yardage type situations again. And we're going to keep working to get that corrected. And, it's not just one particular guy. It's a combination of guys. And, again, I'm going back to we just got to get that stopped.
Earlier this week, you were talking about how if those mistakes kept happening, you would look for someone else. I mean, was that behind the think it was just McCray coming at right guard, other players coming in?
Well, we made that move simply because of the play at that time. We felt like we needed to make the move. We felt like that he would give us a little boost, and then we made that move because we felt like he'd give us better play than we was getting at the time.
David, how hard is it for a rookie quarterback to have all this happening around him like you're talking about?
Well, it really is. He doesn't really – I don't think that bothers him at all. I think the thing is that obviously other than the fumble he had today, I thought he handled everything very well today. But I don't think that's a situation at all where it bothers him at all. I think he's the kind of guy that he goes back there, he's trying to do his job, and today, other than the fumble, I thought he did a nice job.
It certainly doesn't help him to help guys commit penalties.
It doesn't help our football team, period, and that's why we can't stay on the field. And that's why we get in a situation where all of a sudden our defense is playing a little bit longer than we really want them to play, and when we can't sustain drives, then that's what ends up happening. And we have to be able to do that. And to do that, we have to be able to run the ball, and we haven't been able to do that yet.
Speaking of defense, what happened in being able to contain Kyler Murray?
I thought they did a good job of containing him today for the most part. We got him hemmed up a couple of times, but he's one of those guys that, basically he's tough to be able to contain. And I thought for the most part they contained him very well. But that's the kind of player he is.
You brought in Eric Murray for a drive. What did you see out of him, and why was he brought back out again?
Well, he was brought back out simply because we're playing a couple of guys back there. And then plus, they play 4 and 5 wide receivers. So we were in some dime coverages where he's part of the defense, and that's why he was in there during that time.
What did you see from the secondary, some of the issues that were there?
I have to look at the video just to see exactly what happened. It looked like we had a couple of busts back there, but I'm not really sure exactly what happened. There might have been a couple of mix-up back there. That's the reason that some of those big plays that were happening, but I'll have to look at the video to make sure.
They brought down the individual stuff, just big picture. Now it's 6 losses in a row. Where does this team go from here? I mean, stick together, all that, but just to try to change things, to try to turn the tide. Well,
we're gonna reevaluate everything that we're doing from coaching them. We'll look at and make sure that we got the right guys that are in there. I know we're limited in what we're playing with, but we'll look and see and try to keep getting the best combination, and we'll keep working through that with practice just to make sure we're getting the right guys out there and the guys that's going to be out there that's going to give us the best chance to win and not do some of the things that we're doing with bad football.
Coach, do you think that the offensive inefficiency is due to the fact that you all are not throwing the ball or attempting to throw the ball down the field more open enough for Davis Mills?
Well, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's our inability to sustain drives because of our penalties. When you get in those long yardage type situations or in first and second down, you got to get back to the chains. And when trying to get the ball down the field, you end up creating situations where all of a sudden now we get more negative plays. And we just got to get to the point where we eliminate the penalties and get above the chains. And when we've played above the chains, we've been able to get the ball down the field. And as long as we're doing that, we're not going to be able to get the ball down the field.
And that was the 4th roughing, I think, on Malik Collins this year. I mean, how influential was that? What you think of that one and where he's at with that this year?
Well, some of those things, they just happen. I thought the one on Chuck was just one of those things. He was just playing football, and he was playing hard, and he just happened to hit the guy right in the helmet, and it's one of those things that I don't know how he could have prevented it other than coming off of the guy. But we tell him to play hard, and you keep playing hard like that. But, those things happen.
David, two guys, could you talk about Bernard again? And also Desmond King, looks like y'all should have him out there all year.
Well, Desmond gave us some juice today in our return game. We knew he had that in him, but, when Andre was here, that was what Andre was here for, and we gave him an opportunity to do that, and, we weren't getting the production, so obviously it was Desmond's turn to come up, and he obviously did a good job for us today. He gave us some positive plays in our special teams, and just about, I think it was Jonathan you was talking about. I mean, he's playing well right now. I mean, he continues to play well, and he's going to keep getting better and better and better, and that group is going to end up coming with him as we go along.
Why do you coach out of this game?
I'm sorry. All right, go ahead. I'll get you here.
What's the message to the team after a game like this?
Hey, we're going to stay together. We know there is a process that we're going through. We don't like where we are right now. When you come back and we watch the video and we look at things and we see the things that are happening that are putting us in this situation, as coaches, we got to make sure we correct those. We got to make sure that they're responsible for getting those things corrected. And we just take it one game at a time. The records mean nothing when we're preparing for the next team. Just like the team that we're playing, the record doesn't matter. All we know is the next game we play is the Rams, and we're going to look at that as we take it right now one game at a time and just looking to get that one win.
David, why do you think it's tough to kick loose the discipline issues just mentally with the team and their identity right now?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. It's a combination of we have had some injuries. We've got some people in there that getting our continuity on offense and on defense, because we've moved a lot of guys in and moved a lot of guys out trying to find that right combination. And at some point when we get the right combination in there and we get the right guys in there to doing what we need to do, and those will be the guys that we feel like will not be making those penalties that we're making right now.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
Not accustomed to losing a lot in college, Florida. How tough is this on you and the whole team to lose this momentum?
Yeah, I mean, losing is always tough. I mean, you can't find one guy that loves to lose. So overall, I take no lessons out of it, every loss, so we can just build from it. I mean, can't sit here and cry about it. So it sucks, but we still got to handle our stuff. We still got 10 games to play. So I mean, we can't sit in our sorrow and drown in our sorrow. So we just got to keep playing.
What's been the key for you the last two games to get the quarterback over?
Just playing relentless, just handling my job, reading my keys, beating my guy, just trying to make a play. I mean, overall, the defense were all out there trying to make a play. I just think that it just felt I was just right place, right time, I think.
John, what was David's message to y'all just now about?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's tough to continue to just – I mean, we lost. I mean, it's hard to just motivate guys when we put our hearts out there for everything. But like every week, I mean, we're going to come back in there and work. We're going to come in there and watch the film, be our own worst critic, and continue to control the things we can control. I think if we just continue to just do that, we'll handle our end on the back end by just making sure we do our job, and everything else will fall into place. But he's still gonna be the same guy, still high motor, still high energy, and motivating us to come in because it's a long season. I mean, it's bad. Obviously, it looks bad now, but it could get much worse. So we trying to just make sure that it doesn't get to that point, and I think that's what he's doing as well.
What happened to you all after that first quarter? Defensive-wise?
They made plays. He made some crazy plays that nobody will ever see. So can't do much about that.
How tough is it chasing Murray as fast and as elusive as he is?
Yeah, it's like chasing a rabbit, pretty much. So it's I mean, that dude is changing direction is crazy, and he can still throw a dot. So I mean, that's it's hard. It's like you're playing a video game. So I mean, we did our best just to keep him in the pocket as much as possible. But at the end of the day, he's still Kyler Murray. He's gonna make his play. So hats off to him.
What positives can you take from this game?
We fight, man. Like I said, the results may not see it, but I mean, we fight, dog. We put a lot of hard work in this shit. We do it like all week. It's frustrating because we just don't get the result, but we work our asses off. I mean, I'm in there with these guys the whole time, and I see the blood, sweat, the emotions that we put in this game, and it sucks that we get these results. But I mean, nothing's gonna change with our effort. We still gonna work. So I mean, it sucks, but we're gonna keep working out always.
A couple more questions. You got it?
Is that that what you all want to relate also to the fans is that the record doesn't actually say who you all are as a team?
Yeah, I mean, it's the reality. I hate that the fans continue to go through this. They deserve so much more. But we're working, man. I just don't want to make it seem like we're out here just lollygagging. I mean, we're seriously out here working, doing as much as we can. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're in the NFL. They get paid the same way we do. So it be like that sometimes.
Anything else? All right.
Appreciate y'all.
Where does this team go from here?
Practice.
What in practice?
What?
What in practice?
Everything, man. We gotta play better. Gotta play better.
How are you absorbing this right now?
Not happy.
You got to watch a lot while you were injured. Did you see things then that would help? Were you kind of like a coach while you were out helping your guys?
What was the first part of that question? I'm sorry.
Since you're an experienced guy, were you
Yep.
kind of like a coach helping the players?
No doubt, man. Yeah, no doubt. Trying to share my experiences, share my knowledge of the game. You know, got some new faces, new guys to the league in the room. So, whatever I can do to help them, and just play good football. That's what I'm here for.
Once that first mistake happens on offensive penalty, like how do you see that moment where you break out of that?
There's mistakes happening throughout the whole game. You know, you gotta flush it and go on to the next play, man. And that's the name of the game. You just got to do your job, better than them. And if you don't do that, you're gonna lose. So.
Denny's practice, in your opinion, is that sharp? Is there any changes in the game, or is it some of the mistakes? Are there signs of them or anything?
I mean, you practice as hard as you can. You try to, emulate the game as much as you can, game-like situations as much as you can in practice. So when that, situation comes up in the game, you're ready for it. And, we got to get back to the field, get back on it, and keep going.
It seemed like y'all were getting short opportunities even whenever you were getting the Cardinals. I mean, did you find it hard that y'all were getting to get opportunities downfield?
I didn't understand your question. I'm sorry.
Was there things the Cardinals were doing to keep y'all from getting downfield?
They did exactly what we thought they were going to do on film. They played the same coverages as everybody else, and it's our job to try to figure out how to beat it, and that's it.
What do you think is causing the offensive inefficiencies?
I got to watch the film, man. I just got off the game, so I'm going to get on the film on the plane, and I'll get back to you tomorrow on that. Yeah, I was out there running around, so.
It's frustrating to see a team continue to commit similar mistakes. It seems to really be bothering Culley.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You try to not make the same mistake once in a game and in your career, really. So, you want to play efficient football. You want to play good football. And that's it, man. We just got to get back to work.
Especially in this league and, playing with who you played with.
Yeah.
Before. How do you help a rookie like Davis Mills get past it?
Just stay positive, man. It's such a learning curve from go to college to the pros, man. He's a great rookie. He's a smart kid. He can make all the throws. Just better getting out there and getting the experience, getting it going. And I just try to stay as positive as I can with him. He's a good kid, man. He's sharp, and I have really, high hopes for him as a player. He's a good dude. He's a good teammate, and he's gonna keep fighting. And that's the name of the game. Just keep fighting. So.
We're good.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Never got in the red zone.
Just tough. We played a good team. Obviously, the record shows it. We just got to keep finding ways to execute our offense and continue to make plays, not shoot ourselves in the foot, but just keep drives going.
What were they doing to keep you guys from pushing the ball down the field more
I mean, nothing crazy. They had a couple pressure looks that I thought we handled well, communicating it with the line. They got me on one later in the fourth quarter where I knew I was hot, just didn't get the ball out. But other than that, I mean, I think a lot of it's just we got to continue to keep working together to execute and running our offense and executing that out there.
It might not be reflected in the scoreboard, but is there anything you feel like you are getting progressively better at from one week to the next?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think I've continued to progress. I feel like I've been playing better out there. Obviously, protected the football a little better this week, had the one fumble. And obviously want that back because I think if we get that back, we can go down and score there, and, it might be a whole different game. But just got to keep making smart decisions with the football and keep rolling.
What moods do you sense whenever you get? What moods do you sense in the huddle whenever like a mistake happens and then first down gets removed and you have to start over again?
Nothing unusual. I think a lot of it, football has a lot of ups and downs, and we got to play our part and make sure everyone's on the same page, and we're focused on that next play because that's the only one that matters.
Culley is saying when Tyrod's healthy, he'll be back, and if he's healthy, we'll get back from the Rams. How do you feel about that? And is there anything good about going back and then being able to watch him for a change, and then maybe coming back later?
I mean, whatever decision's made with whoever's playing, that's up to coach and the front office. But I mean, I know both of us were willing to do whatever it takes for the team to win. You never know. Obviously, I think experience is the biggest thing right now for me. So, I mean, I'm getting that right now, and I've definitely grown from before I was playing. But I mean, I'm willing to do whatever it takes for the team to win.
Does Tyrod help you? Does Tyrod help you?
Definitely, yeah. He's the whole quarterback room, coaches and everything. We're all together, making sure we're all on the same page and continuing with the game plan.
Davis, what do you learn from being across from someone like J.J. Watt of his stature as a three-time NFL?
Yeah, I mean, he's a game wrecker. You always kind of got to know where he's at when he's on the field. We had stuff. Just making sure we knew where he was at. And, I mean, he's one of those guys who has chances to flash and take over the game in certain situations. So, I mean, he's just a tough guy to play against, but, I mean, he's a great player.
Coach Culley talked about sustaining drives. What caused you all not to be able to do that today?
I mean, a couple things. I don't know how to point directly at one, but, I mean, I think we just got to continue to execute our plays, making sure everyone's on the same page in certain times. I think I could have been better at communicating some of the third downs protection, making sure everyone's getting the same call and we're all on the same page. But, I mean, other than that, we just got to go out and do our stuff and run it at a high level.
What does it mean to you that like a guy like Amendola comes in here and praises the heck out of you to know that your teammates still got your back?
It's awesome. I mean, I think what you don't feel from this locker room after a loss like this is everyone moving in different directions. I think we're staying together, and I think that'll keep pushing us as the season goes on, and things are going to change around here once we get a spark.
Last one.
You able to get the ball down the field a little bit today. What caused in the second half you all seemed to go away from that? What was the reason for it?
I think we were just trying to put together drives, making sure we were staying ahead of the sticks on first down, trying to get ahead of it. And, I mean, those things will come as the game goes on and as we get into our certain spaces on the field where we're comfortable calling some aggressive plays. So I think we just got to be a little more or not be more, but just like kind of stay ahead of it on the front end so we can have a chance to make some of those plays.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks.
What's going on?
You guys put in the time all week. John Bernard was talking about you work hard, not getting the results. How do you guys handle that to not getting what you're putting in?
That's really when you gotta work hard, and stay focused on just the little details. You can't get discouraged, if you're things aren't going your way, but we still got to continue to trust that process of putting in that work, that film study, week in and week out, and fixing the small details of our game and things like that, but just like sometimes if you throw a bad pass rush, you can't get discouraged by throwing a bad move. You got to just keep on rushing. So it's the same mentality week in and week out.
So if y'all second or 4 times, you're getting to them early. was going well, at least at the beginning, that was able to get you guys in the back of the ball?
You know, this is a talented front. You know, there's some talented guys in that D-line room, and we know that for us to be able to compete in games, you know, it's going to start up front. That's stopping the run and, you know, and running the ball. So.
What happened after that first quarter? You off the defensive part.
Say that again.
What happened defensively? What happened after that first quarter? You all came out and stopped in the first 2 drives. You had a safety, but it seems like as the game wore on, they just started to get more and more comfortable in their offensive plays.
That's just when you know, guys gotta remember I gotta do my job first. You know, it's all right to understand and know tendencies, but you know, that's when we as a defense have to do our 111th. You know, and do our job and be where it's supposed to be. You know, so just gotta work through that.
What was the message from Coach Culley in the locker room after this game?
You know, continue to work, continue to put the work in. You know, this is a team. You know, we're a team in there. You know, and as long as we continue to show up and come into work, you know, with a positive spirit, you know, and looking forward to the next week and continuing to put that work in, you know, and just being consistent with that, you know. So, you know, I think that's all you can do right now.
Jacob, you've been part of successful teams here and in Seattle too. Do you feel like this team works as hard and practices as diligently and as detailed as every other team you've been a part of?
Yeah, I would say things are going in the right direction here. You know, they got guys in the building that are competitive. You know, that are excited to come into work every day or joy to be around, and there's great team camaraderie and things like that. You know, and everyone understands this is a business, and we're all here to win games. You know, so to compare the successful teams I've been on, you know, the winning teams I've been on, I think this team has everything it needs. You know, it's just focusing on the little details of our game. That's gonna.
What John Bernard is doing, is that kind of pumping you guys up at all a little bit with the success he's having? Is that kind of infectious for all?
Hell yeah, man. You know, he's rushing his butt off. You know, and I'm happy to see it. You know, it's exciting. You know, for sure to get the game going. If he's hot early or hot late or wherever, in those clutch moments, you know, for sure, it's awesome to see that. It's awesome to see him ball out for sure.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you. 6 losses in a row. How do you guys kind of turn this thing around? Obviously, you had the answers. You guys would have already done it, but what do you think are some possibilities for you guys to try to do something better going forward?
I think as a team, we just got to keep going. You know, the sun's going to shine one day. We're going to get another win soon. I think just our main thing that we're trying to do is just stay together and just move forward. You know, we got the Rams next week, so I think this game was a good game for momentum game for us to go into next week. And we just got to keep stacking, keep doing the best we can, and improving in practice.
What helps keep the team together and not kind of go in different directions after 6 losses in a row?
Positivity, man. Coach Culley is a great guy. He's a great coach. He keeps everybody positive. You know, the world could be coming down tomorrow. He'll probably have a smile on his face, you know. And that's just kind of the guys that we have in our locker room, you know. We could be in worse situations. We could have no wins. And we just got to stay positive, which we are. Keep trusting in this process and just take everything. We still got 10 games left. There's plenty of room to turn this thing around. It's just not as fast as we want it to be, but I'm pretty sure that we'll get things done how we want it to get done.
How different has the post-game message been from Culley the last 3 games, really?
His main thing is just finishing. We have to finish games. You never know when that critical point in the game is going to be, whether it was that safety we had or it was that 3rd and 1 that we missed or that pick interception or a drive offensive need, whatever the case may be in any game. You never know when it's going to happen. So I think we just need to capitalize on that moment when we see it and take that opportunity and just finish, you know, play special teams, offense, defense, 60 minutes together. You know, I think that's when we'll get our next win.
Ross, how hard is it for you, though, being a hometown kid, you know, hometown man, excuse me, from Missouri City, Texas, playing for the Houston Texans, and then you know, in the midst of this losing streak, but you also have to hear it around the city. What can you tell the fans that to keep them encouraged and positive?
we love all our fans. We appreciate every single fan that comes to our games, that supports us. All I can tell is the fans in the city is just keep supporting us, and we'll do the same. We're doing the best that we can as a team. NFL's hard. If anybody watches it and knows it, that plays it, knows it's hard. Can't speak for everybody who's on the outside watching, but only people we got to worry about is the people in this locker room, you know. But of course, we appreciate our fans and everything. But we're going to turn this thing around. We're going to be fine. I have no doubts in this team. We just got to keep playing together, finishing together, and eventually we'll make everybody proud, you know. But right now, we just got to focus on what's going on. We got to focus on the Rams. We got to take 1 week at a time.
Russell, why do you think the results have been so lopsided, especially on the road?
That's a great question. Like I said before, we just got to find a way to win on the road. It's hard. It's easy playing at home when you know you got that home field advantage, that crowd. Nobody really likes you when you go somewhere else and play, you know. So we just got to find a way to handle adversity when it hits us. And I think we just, you know, we'll find a will. When there's a will, there's a way.
They're all losses, obviously, but by the margin you guys are losing by. Does that take any extra sort of toll on the team?
Say it again.
When you guys are losing by the margins you're losing by today and the other road games, does that take any sort of extra sort of mental toll on the team?
I think it just lights a little more fire. You know, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing, but you would want to come back next week and try harder, so it won't be as bad. Unfortunately, we played some really good teams coming up, but we're a good team. We just got to put it, like I said, we just got to put it all together. You know, we've had a lot of adversity on this team. If anybody on this team knows, we've been dealing with this team. You know, we've been through a lot, but we just got to keep building. We got to keep stacking.
Ross, players come in, subs come in, subs rotations happen. What is the message whenever those things happen? You said in a game that players come in and out.
You said subs?
Yeah.
As far as like the D-line? Or
David Culley's talked about how like if someone makes a mental mistake, they'll look for someone else. Like that's happening. What's the message you see whenever that happens in the game?
I think it's just he's trying to say like next man up. You know, we're just trying to find the guys who's going to do the things I guess what these coaches asked to do. And like I said, we have all those guys in the room. You know, I guess they're just still trying to put pieces together. I know we're like in a rebuilding process or however you want to call it, but you know, that's what the coaches are dealing with. You know, I can speak for so many people. You know, but yeah.
How does that make you feel when if you make a mental mistake, you get pulled out? How does that feel on the sideline?
I mean, you just gotta brush it off for the next play. You can't let it affect you the whole game because it will eat you alive. And me knowing me, I always used to be that type of player. One play would spill my mind, and I would think about it all day, all night. You just got to keep going. You just got to brush it off next play, worry about it on Monday. You know.
It seems like that's part of the thing, right? It spins in your head. How do you break out of that? How do you just break out? What helped you?
Like I said, it'll eat you alive. So when you go out there again, you're still thinking about that same play. So it's like you got to let it go. I know when I missed a couple sacks, I was in my head. I'm like, dang, I miss all these. Like not this game, but just in general, an example. But like it was just eating me alive, and I was forcing and trying to get a sack, and it'll irritate you as a player. Same thing as a quarterback. You miss a wide open ball, you want to come back to that play eventually, or you any position. You know, it's that one play that might just annoy you because you work so hard on your craft every week. You prepare so hard. And when you see it and you just don't make it, you know, sometimes it's frustrating. But as men, we find ways to just cope with it and just throw it to the side.
So you all did a great job of containing Kyler Murray at the beginning of the game. What happened as the game went on?
Man, he fast, dog. I'll give you that. We tried our best, dog. Yeah. I think we did a pretty good job for the most part. We had a couple bad calls. That one horse collar call. We just prepared as a D-line in the room. We challenged ourselves. Our position coach challenged us, Bobby King, just to be the guys up front that kind of set the tone as far as not letting him scramble, no draw plays, no extensive plays with him. He's a great quarterback. He's going to make plays. You know, that's obvious. But I think we did a pretty good job in containing him for the most part.
Is it because he's so elusive that, you know, as the game goes on, it gets more and more frustrating for defensive linemen?
It does, and you just get tired, man, because he can run. He can seem like he can run all day, and as long as we get him flustered and out that pocket and running, that's fine. We'll take that win. But giving him too much time to be able to run around, make plays, I think that's where people mess up with him, you know. But I think we did a pretty good job in containing them for the most part this night.
All right. Thanks, Rob.